Hello and welcome to another edition of Sit Down with the Director. I'm Robin Phillips and I'm here today again with our Director of Schools, Bobby Cox, to talk about what's going on with Warren County Schools. Mr. Cox, how are you?
I'm doing well, doing well.
Great. Okay, I understand we have some good news on our budget as of last night that it passed. Would you like to add any comments to that?
Yeah, we're very happy to have our budget passed. You know, that's always a very difficult time, you know, trying to get everything worked out. And it went very smooth this year. I think the committee process worked very well. Kind of flawlessly went through the committee process with the board and through the county commission and then through financial management, so everything went very well. In this year's budget, some of just the highlights, a 4% raise for all staff across the board, so teachers and classified staff, everybody gets a 4% raise added to the salary schedule. We were able to fund SROs in every school. So they're in the midst of being trained right now. So we hope to have an SRO in every school by the time school starts, but there will be coverage for every school. But that was something that we've talked about for the last couple of years and we're able to do. And then the last thing is our Chromebook project, our technology project, where we're going to start moving toward one-to-one technology. We're going to be able to purchase a Chromebook, it's much like a laptop computer, for all of our 8th graders in the system and start that process, and every year try to replenish those so that those will go with the students all the way into high school, and by the time they're seniors they'll have used it from 8th grade on. So everything else pretty much status quo. There was not a tax increase, you know, in the budget. We did get a little bit extra money for sales tax, which is good, means the economy's picking up, so that's a great thing. And so everything was good with the budget.
Great. Going back a little bit to the Chromebooks, because that may have caught some people's attention that aren't familiar with that. I know we've talked about that some already in our board meetings and such, but now that would be issued to students basically like a textbook where they would be assigned a Chromebook. It would not be their Chromebook, it would remain property of the district. But they would keep that and then turn it back in on breaks and holidays, most likely for upkeep and such, and then be able to utilize that in the classroom, I assume. And
in the classroom and at home. So it'll be, you know, it'll have an inventory sticker on the back, assigned to Warren County Schools and the building that it's in. Be assigned to that student just like a textbook. They'll have to turn it in at the end of the year. They are responsible for it. You know, if it's lost or broken, then it'll have to be turned back in and made, you know, restitution made. But it is theirs to use and take home and use, and hopefully we can move into electronic textbooks and electronic media with that. So
okay, great. And again, that is just for educational purposes. Yes. It doesn't even have storage on it or anything, right? It's a
it'll have cloud. Yeah, it'll have cloud storage available. Where students can save projects and things of that type through, you know, Google Drive. But, you know, they'll also, it's got some safeguards on it too, where, you know, you can't access material that you shouldn't be accessing anyway. And then if someone, you know, were to try to steal it or take it and do something with it that they shouldn't, we're able to track it and shut it down. So it does have a couple of features that maybe a regular laptop or Chromebook wouldn't have. Okay,
great. Well, that sounds like a wonderful thing for our 8th graders. Now, we are getting ready to start school, and are there any special announcements that we would like to make or anything extra you would like to tell us about the start of school this year?
Well, you know, school's starting a little bit later this year than it did last year, roughly a week later due to Memorial Day being later in the year in May. I always try to end the Friday before Memorial Day. So we start registrations on the 12th. Need to contact your school and make sure sometimes they'll have open house and registration before the 12th, just to have families and come in and make it easier for students to tour the school if they want to. But registration day is on the 12th. So if you don't have an opportunity to go early, you can go on the 12th, fill out all your paperwork, register, and be ready to go. And then the first day with students will be on the 14th, which is a Friday. Not the best timing, but again, you know, we have to, with testing and things of that type, we have to get a certain number of days in before the test, and you know, most everybody likes to get out before Memorial Day, so that was really, you know, something that we had to back up and start and still keep all of our breaks the same way.
Okay, so those kids can get in and do homeroom business that first day, and then maybe start being ready to go by the next Monday. Anyway,
right, get a lot of the stuff out of the way.
Okay, very good. And also, I know we'll be affected somewhat by the building projects. We have 3 building projects going on right now, and I guess if you could please go over with us what's going on with those projects.
Well, the projects are moving ahead, you know, pretty good. Maybe a little bit behind schedule, but the Bobby Ray project, where we're renovating the gym, they're doing a lot of work outside. They've taken down the old band building and concession stand area, so that's completely been removed. The work will begin a little bit on the inside, the renovation of the bleachers upstairs, but eventually, you know, there'll be a brand new floor down, brand new bleachers, new gym will be fully painted, new lighting, you know, new wiring, new restrooms and concession stand area and foyer area. It'll be air conditioned, which has not been air conditioned in the past, so that'll be a good thing. So that's going to be an ongoing project. They'll be working a lot outside when school starts and not inside, because we have to use that for students. So it'll be a 2-year project. The high school project, the multi-purpose building, is going well. The expansion of the weight room's going well. A lot of the rough end plumbing's been completed. A lot of the grade work's been completed, so the building should start going up here shortly. That project should be completed maybe in February. It'll be probably the fastest moving project because it's not a renovation. And it will take up some parking places and reroute some driving in the parking lots, but it shouldn't be that big a deal. But it's moving very good. And then Irving College is probably the biggest project that we've got going. They've done a lot of the grade work there, taken down the old building behind the school that was used for storage, so it's completely been removed. Have uncovered a few things there, a couple of old septic tanks and a house that used to be on the property. But everything seems to be moving, you know, as expected up there. So happy those projects are started and underway.
Okay, and I'm sure that parents and students are wondering, I mean, how will those projects, I know that students will still be allowed in the gym, and clearly will still be going to the high school and Irving College, but are there going to be any things that they need to know to do differently? Bus route, busing, I think you mentioned the parking at the high school, that they should be aware of or be watching for the coming year with those projects. Yeah, the biggest thing will be the traffic. You know, drop off and pick up. You know, we'll probably have to do some rerouting of traffic, especially at Irving College and at the high school. Some of the bus loops will be a little bit different because of the construction areas. But the principals of each school will notify parents about those traffic pattern changes and things of that type. So biggest thing is just really asking for patience. You know, anytime you've got a construction project and you change a few things, it kind of throws a kink in, especially when you're talking about traffic and a lot of people coming in at once and trying to leave at once. So, you know, just be patient with it. You know, we're trying to do the best we can, and you know, it'll a few months and everything will be back to normal. So. Right, and better than normal. And yeah, better than normal, definitely. And I know also to mention, we do have a new project that we just finished this week, or it's being finished at the football stadium. Is that right? Yeah. So tell us about that. New scoreboard at the football stadium. Very happy that Dr. Pepper, Middle Tennessee Bottling Company, and Mr. Milner have always donated the scoreboards for our school system. Every scoreboard we have comes from him. He's been very generous, and we've had a few problems with the scoreboard over the last couple of years at the high school football stadium, so got together this summer and felt like it was time to maybe make a change, and the new scoreboard is up and operational, and hopefully we won't have any problems. It looks very nice. We changed the color from red to blue, and it's got Warren County and our logo at the top, and it looks very nice. We're
very happy to have it and proud we've got a good partner like Dr. Pepper and Mr. Milner to help us out with that.
Okay, great. Well, I know everybody will be excited to say that. I understand it's very bright and very pretty.
It is.
Okay, great. We also are doing a new program this year, programming focusing on reading. Of course, I'm sure everyone understands that we're always focusing on reading, but this is a new focus for us. Could you talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, last year we set a third grade reading goal to be at 90% in the third grade, proficient advanced on our assessment. You know, we're a little bit short of that right now. Most districts are, but we're moving that direction. But, you know, as we looked at our data this summer, we felt like we really need to focus on vocabulary. We really need to focus on the alphabetic principle, phonics, and really decoding skills in early grades. So we're going to be coming out with a lot of material on our website at warrenschools.com to provide parents the things that they're going to need to work with their students. We'll be doing a lot of free book giveaways to get literacy materials in the hands of students. We're going to have a vocabulary list on our website. So we're going to do a lot of saturating of our website and of the community and in the media about the importance of reading. And we can't do it you know, just in school. It's got to happen, you know, before students get to school. We need parents' help. We need community members' help to help us reach that goal. But if we can get 90% of our students reading on grade level by the third grade, then that just makes it easier in every other subject throughout the time that they're going to be in school.
Sure. So, okay, the vocabulary that you're speaking of, is that something that parents of small children should be looking at and trying to work on before they come even to pre-K or kindergarten?
Right, exactly. We'll have it listed by grade level of, you know, the words that students should be able to know and know the definition of and know how to pronounce by the time they come into kindergarten. So when they go to kindergarten screening in April, that's what we'll be looking for, those vocabulary words, those high frequency words that students need to know when they come to school. Okay. So that's why we're going to need, you know, help from the community and, you know, start early.
Okay, and will that also extend to grades, upper grades, even past third grade? So it'll be all grade appropriate, and it'll be easy to find for them on our website for their student at their grade level,
right.
A link to get to that.
Exactly. Academic vocabulary is where it'll be listed, and we'll have it right on the front page of our website, easy to get to.
Okay, so that's an interesting thing that I'm sure everyone will take a while to get used to knowing about, but a great resource, it sounds like.
We hope so.
Okay, we also have, I think, a new testing this year that we probably need to let people know about, so they'll be prepared for that when it comes along.
Right. Last year was the last year of TCAP as we know it, the end of paper pencil testing for the most part in our schools, and we'll be moving to online testing. The new test is called 10 Ready. It deals with new standards that are being developed and have been developed. This is a brand new test. So we've got a parent guide that has come out that we'll be putting on our website and we'll be pushing out to parents. And it has everything about the 10 Ready test, why the changes have been made, sample questions by grade level for parents to look at that compare the old test to the new test, and what the expectation is. And really the expectation is for students to be able to write effectively and be able to read effectively. So that's really where we're really trying to push our reading and writing and literacy in all grades so that we'll be prepared for this test long term.
Okay, and is that a 3-8 test?
That's a 3-8 test, and then also some of the EOC areas as well, and of course test as well will be changing along with that, and they'll be part of 10 Ready as well.
Okay, and of course I'm sure we teach keyboarding to those early grades too, but they will be proficient enough to be able to handle this test in their
well, we hope so. We hope so. That's something that we'll have to work on within our schools, as well as the technology skills, because they'll have to drag and drop, and they'll have to copy and paste things, and then obviously type. But we've had a couple of test runs with it, and there are 2 test portals that are out there that we'll be using as well. So students will have a fair amount of practice before they actually hit the test.
And they probably have a lot more practice anyway because they've grown up with it, not like us. We had to learn it later in life.
There you go.
Anyway, okay, well, thank you so much for giving us an update on what's going on in Warren County Schools.
Always a pleasure.
Okay, and thank you for joining us today as well, and we'll see you next time on Sit Down with the Director.